2026 isn't just a big year for sci-fi, it might be the most loaded calendar the genre has seen in over a decade. We're not just talking about the usual franchise juggernauts grinding out sequels. Legendary directors are returning to worlds that made them famous, new voices are swinging hard at bold concepts, and some of the most beloved characters in cinema are getting their biggest moments yet. From mind-bending time travel to gritty survival against creatures that should not exist, these are the 25 sci-fi movies of 2026 you actually need on your radar. Number 25, Disclosure Day. Steven Spielberg coming back to alien territory is already enough to stop anyone in their tracks, and the cast he brought along makes it harder to ignore.
Good morning, Kansas City. Let's take a look at today's.
It belongs to 7 billion people.
What are you gonna do?
Full disclosure.
Emily Blunt and Josh O'Connor play a meteorologist and a whistleblower racing to expose the truth about an alien encounter the government has been sitting on for a very long time. Spielberg has described it as a spiritual successor to Close Encounters of the Third Kind, but this one leans harder into societal fallout and government conspiracy rather than the wonder of first contact. The premise alone, ordinary people deciding they can no longer keep the secret, gives Disclosure Day an urgency that feels different from anything Spielberg has made in years.
After years of war.
Number 24, The Odyssey. When the first trailer dropped, the conversation online shifted almost immediately. A futuristic reimagining of the ancient Greek myth, The Odyssey follows a lost commander navigating a dangerous, uncharted sector of the galaxy in a desperate attempt to find his way home, and the scale of what the footage revealed caught a lot of people off guard.
No one could. Not even me.
The planetary environments look genuinely unlike anything in recent space cinema, and fans were quick to call it the next big space opera. Beyond the visuals, what the film has going for it is the emotional core of the original myth, a man separated from everything he loves, fighting through impossible odds just to get back. Number 23, The Backrooms. There is something about the Backrooms mythology that has always been more unsettling than traditional horror, and bringing it to the big screen has been one of the more intriguing announcements of the year.
Found a place. It's massive in there. It just goes on and on.
The official teaser drops the audience into the 1990s, following a young film crew who stumble into a dimension of endless yellow rooms with no exit and no logic. The lo-fi, grainy aesthetic they've committed to is exactly right for this material, matching the way the original internet phenomenon spread, feeling discovered rather than manufactured. The online response has been massive, and expectations heading into release are running high. Number 22, Worldbreaker. Milla Jovovich returning to genre filmmaking carries a certain weight, and Worldbreaker is putting it to use in a premise that gets darker the more you think about it.
This world has been broken many times. Remember the stories I told you? About the awful things happening up north by an enemy we did not yet understand.
We can't hold the line anymore. Mom, where are we going? Dad, where?
Someplace safe. Come on.
Please.
They know we are here now.
She plays a mother fighting to protect her daughter on a remote island in a world where rifts have opened in the ground, unleashing monstrous creatures with a terrifying twist. Anyone scratched or bitten begins to transform into something hybrid. The film leans into gritty monster horror rather than polished action spectacle, and that choice gives it a rawness that sets it apart. Jovovich has always been at her best when the stakes feel personal, and here they don't get more personal than this.
Let the 50th Hunger Games begin!
Number 21, The Hunger Games. Sunrise on the Reaping the Hunger Games universe returning to the 50th Games means returning to one of the most brutal chapters in Panem's history.
Strict 12. Twice the glory. quarter quell.
This prequel centers on a young Haymitch Abernathy inside the second quarter quell, where the Capitol forced twice the usual number of tributes into the arena. Watching how the man who would eventually mentor Katniss actually managed to survive such impossible odds gives the story a weight that connects directly to everything that came after. Prequels work best when they fill in a gap you didn't know you needed filled, and Sunrise on the Reaping has exactly that kind of gap to work with. Number 20, Dune Part 3, Denis Villeneuve finishing the trilogy with Dune Messiah is one of the most straightforward cases for most anticipated film of the year. Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya return, but the story they're stepping back into is considerably darker than what came before.
You need to be strong, like her mother.
So you would have the wisdom of his grandfather.
I'm doing the best I can to protect my family. I'm not afraid to die. Yet.
Paul Atreides now sits at the center of a religious empire he can no longer fully control, with fanaticism spreading in his name and a conspiracy building that threatens everything he has built. Villeneuve has consistently used this material to ask uncomfortable questions about power, and Messiah is where those questions reach their sharpest point with the full weight of a 20-film buildup behind them. Number 19, The Bride. Maggie Gyllenhaal directing a reimagining of the Bride of Frankenstein mythos is already a striking combination, but the specific angle she takes makes it genuinely unpredictable.
I didn't want any of this!
We dug you up. Then we brought you back down.
The dead girl.
I'm the same. Born from the dead. As well.
The corrupt are going to see blood! Everybody sing!
Did you do something wrong? Something you thought you might get away with?
Set in 1930s Chicago, Christian Bale plays the monster. Not a villain, but a figure searching for a connection who seeks out a doctor willing to create a companion for him. When they revive a murdered young woman played by Jessie Buckley, her awakening sets off something closer to a social and romantic revolution than a horror plot. Both actors do their best work in psychologically demanding material, and Gyllenhaal is exactly the director who knows how to draw that out.
Why did you send me away?
I wanted you to be safe.
Number 18, Masters of the Universe, He-Man finally making it back to the big screen after years of false, starts feels significant, and the version that arrived looks more serious about the property than any previous attempt.
It's real.
So I sent you to a place I knew that they'd never find you.
They often sword things. It's not a good look for human resources.
That sword is gonna show me the way home.
Mine.
What? You protect them.
Nicholas Galitzine takes on Prince Adam's journey from uncertainty to the power he was born to carry, while Jared Leto plays Skeletor in what promises to be a genuinely unhinged performance. Travis Knight directing, the man behind Kubo and the Two Strings brings a sensibility rooted in character-driven storytelling, and applying that to Eternia could produce something that works for longtime fans and newcomers alike. The tone they're aiming for is high fantasy sci-fi epic, and the early material suggests they're hitting that mark.
Oh my god. What is it?
I don't know.
Number 17, Cold Storage, David Cope, adapting his own novel, gives Cold Storage a directness most adaptations don't get, and the premise rewards that directness. A deadly parasitic fungus escapes a military facility, and it doesn't just spread, it controls the minds of whatever it infects.
I don't feel so good.
That's not natural.
Keep Travis calm.
We're gonna be fine.
That fucking deer just took the fucking elevator. Would you please ask him to shut the fuck up? My name is Doc.
Liam Neeson and Joe Keery star as the unlikely pair tasked with containing it before it goes global, and the gap between Neeson's weathered intensity and Keery's anxious energy is doing a lot of the comedic heavy lifting before the stakes even kick in. Sci-fi comedy lives entirely on how well its leads play off each other under pressure, and this pairing has the ingredients to make that work.
Not to take calculated risks. Eden doesn't understand that. You don't understand that.
Number 16, Iron Lung. Taking a beloved indie horror game to the big screen is always a gamble, and Iron Lung is one of the stranger source materials to attempt it with. A prisoner is sent in a small, rusted submarine to explore a moon covered entirely by an ocean of blood, searching for any sign of life while something massive moves in the red depths below him, all while the stars in the universe have apparently gone dark. The game worked because it committed completely to its premise without over-explaining it, and if the film holds to that same restraint, it has the potential to be one of the more genuinely unsettling horror experiences of the year.
Won't that be nice, huh?
Why?
Our old home was dying, and now we're making a new home.
Number 15, in the blink of an eye, Andrew Stanton tackling a live-action epoch spanning Fable is the kind of announcement that makes you reconsider what this year's calendar actually contains.
Life seems... It's just you and me, buddy.
My research is kind of a big deal.
Are we there yet?
We reach a new planet in 26 years.
Watching them grow. It's how we were.
It's too...
Everyone that was there before. And what a beautiful thing.
The film weaves three storylines set thousands of years apart, connecting human discovery across deep time and into a distant future aboard a spacecraft, with Kate McKinnon and Dave Diggs anchoring the ensemble. Stanton's instincts with WALL-E proved he understands how to build meaning inside a sci-fi frame without letting the concept swallow the human core, and the ambition on display here, threading emotional truth across thousands of years, is exactly the kind of challenge his sensibility is built for.
Hey, any of you even listening to me?
Number 14, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die, Gore Verbinski directing a sci-fi comedy about stopping a rogue AI before it destroys humanity sounds like an elevator pitch that either collapses completely or becomes something genuinely strange, and everything here suggests the latter.
I traveled here today to say it out loud. It's kind of a morale killer. The way people are with each other, the world's going to shit. You see the writing on the wall. It means the damn is you people can do something about it.
Sam Rockwell plays a man from a future shaped by apocalyptic disaster who takes over a Los Angeles diner and starts assembling a team of ordinary people to intercept the AI program that causes it all. Verbinski works best when he is given material that lets him be genuinely weird, and a time-bending comedy with Rockwell at the center gives him exactly that freedom. The title alone tells you the film knows exactly what it is. Number 13, War Machine Alan Ritchson, in a Netflix original about elite combat engineers encountering something they were never trained to fight, is a premise that sounds straightforward until the otherworldly element enters the picture.
Son, you're one of the most promising candidates.
Rangers are the spearhead of the United States Army. Do you understand me?
This company's going haywire.
What the hell is that?
Hunting us, and it won't stop.
No comms, no flares, no firearms.
Rangers, lead the way! All the way!
You gotta be shitting me.
The recruits push through a brutal special operations program to their final mission in a wooded environment, and the threat they run into there operates by rules nothing in their training could have prepared them for. Ritchson built his persona on physical presence and controlled intensity, and War Machine drops that persona into a scenario where none of the usual advantages apply. Survival horror inside a military framework doesn't get explored often enough, and this one looks like it is taking the combination seriously.
They need the Storm Rider.
Come on, boy!
Number 12, Storm Rider, Legend of Hammerhead, arriving ahead of its March 2026 release. The final trailer for Storm Rider made a strong case that this one deserves more attention than it has been getting.
Are you afraid the storm will destroy your island? Safety is one race away.
Boy, you win, your people are granted entry.
Legend has it, he actually broke through the storm.
It was more than just, I'm going to see what lays beyond.
Attention, islanders. The storm is... Our destiny is revealed to them.
The islanders do not need
Myths and legends.
Set 3 centuries after a global flood reshaped the planet. The world it builds is one of scattered island communities living in the permanent shadow of a storm that has never moved, never weakened, and has never been explained. 2 young rebels using salvage technology set out to find out why the world never dried up, and the post-apocalyptic sea aesthetic is genuinely striking, weathered, tactile, and lived in. A storm still raging 300 years on suggests something deliberate, and that is exactly the kind of thread worth pulling.
And if I can't understand what he's saying, he puts on a little puppet show for me and my tiny brain, and you know what? I don't mind it.
Number 11, Project Hail Mary Andy Weir's follow-up to The Martian has been one of the most requested adaptations in science fiction for years, and Project Hail Mary arriving with Ryan Gosling as Ryland Grace feels like exactly the right pairing.
Is that me?
You don't care if I die. It's now or never.
Grace wakes up alone on a spaceship with amnesia and 2 dead crewmates, gradually piecing together that he is Earth's last shot at stopping a cosmic plague that is literally dimming the sun. The novel works because it trusts its science and delivers genuine problem-solving tension alongside an emotional core that catches you off guard, and Gosling's ability to carry a film on internal conflict makes him a strong fit for a character who spends much of the story completely alone. This one has real potential to be the prestige sci-fi hit of the year.
Gives us unprecedented access to the animal world. We call it hoppers. Huh?
Number 10, Hopper's Disney taking a swing at a concept this specific and this strange is a welcome sign that not everything coming out of the studio this year is built around existing IP.
Methods to understand. Mabel, we created a revolutionary technology that... Mabel, be careful!
What you doing, lady?
This is incredible!
Oh, I am clearing the rest of the day. Let's hear it for Mabel, everyone. Tamara, Prudence, Pete, Peter, Petey.
Yeah, it's crowd.
Your question. Everybody. Fellow animals! The humans of...
Type rebel leader?
Mabel, we do not use hopping technology to upset the animal. Their treachery ends here. Now. I really don't think we need to go all the way to Squid.
A young girl transfers her consciousness into a robotic beaver to go undercover in the animal kingdom. And what she finds there, a hidden animal council, a secret world just out of human sight, forces her to reconsider what she understands about her own humanity. The premise sounds playful, but the emotional question underneath it is real. And Pixar adjacent science fiction aimed at younger audiences has historically been where some of the most interesting genre storytelling happens.
Men will no longer communicate.
Number 9 to 28 years later, the Bone Temple, Danny Boyle returning to the franchise he started is already a statement. But the story the Bone Temple tells is less about revisiting familiar ground and more about what comes after the immediate crisis ends.
I open the door of...
Will cease to make any sense. And
Ralph Fiennes plays a doctor in a world where survivors have begun the long, uncertain work of rebuilding, and a discovery at the Bone Temple throws that process into chaos, suggesting the rage virus hasn't simply persisted but evolved into something new.
And you.
Number 8, Mercy, a legal thriller set in a future where an AI handles all judicial decisions sounds like a thought experiment until the 90-minute execution countdown enters the picture.
I swear to God. They think that I killed my wife.
Mr.
There's a bomb in that truck. No, I have something here. Or were you just programmed? She was stressed about work.
Chris Pratt plays a detective accused of a crime he didn't commit, facing an AI-mandated death sentence with less than 2 hours to produce evidence that changes the outcome. The AI judge isn't corrupt, it is just following its logic to its conclusion, which is somehow more frightening than a human villain with understandable motives. Number 7, Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, Millie Alcock stepping into Kara Zor-El is a departure from the version of this character most audiences know, and the distance between them is exactly what makes the film interesting.
Not a very high bar to clear.
Okay,
This does not... no. He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth. Look like this is gonna end well. It's a pretty small group of two.
This on your planet have houses.
Rather than the bright, optimistic heroics that define previous interpretations, this Supergirl is hardened by experience traveling the galaxy with a young alien girl on a mission for vengeance. Centering a revenge arc in a superhero film built around one of DC's most traditionally hopeful characters creates a real tension. And Alcock has already shown she can carry a character with conflicting internal pressures without collapsing into one note.
Suit yourself.
Mother.
Go home.
Number 6, Spider-Man Brand New Day. Tom Holland's Peter Parker coming back after No Way Home already had a story worth telling, but Brand New Day is positioning itself as something bigger. The opening move of a new trilogy and a direct lead-in to the next Avengers film.
MJ, come on, pretend like you're not the happiest you've ever been in your entire life.
Hi, my name is Peter Parker. Because I'm not just Peter Parker. I'm Spider-Man.
If DNA is mutating, it would be enormously dangerous.
We are faced with a danger that we can't control. One we can't even see.
Kind of.
Nice flowers.
Oh, they're a housewarming gift.
I'm MJ.
I'm just a neighbor from across the hall.
Friendly neighbor.
Peter tries to rebuild a normal life until a new threat makes that impossible, forcing him into an alliance with Daredevil and Kingpin, two figures whose moral frameworks sit at a very different angle to his own. The pressure on this film to deliver on its own terms while also setting up something much larger is real, and based on what has been shown, it appears to understand exactly what it is being asked to do. Number 5, Minions and Monsters. The Minions deciding to make the greatest monster movie ever made and ending up inside actual monster territory is the kind of premise that works entirely because of how committed this franchise has always been to its own internal chaos.
Oh, you see those large, heavily armed men? They suspect you have killed their... What are you going to use for your monster?
Manhandling me, you big weirdo! Whoa, whoa, whoa. So you need monsters for your movie?
What starts as a filmmaking ambition escalates into encounters with creatures that are genuinely frightening rather than cartoonish, giving the film a slightly different energy than its predecessors. The humor is still built on the same foundations: escalating misunderstanding, physical comedy, the Minions' absolute inability to recognize danger, but the backdrop is stranger and darker than what these films usually deploy.
Were you doing that?
Are you coming or what?
Number 4, Mortal Kombat II. The first film landed well enough to earn this sequel, and Mortal Kombat II is expanding into territory the games have always promised but rarely delivered on screen. A full-scale invasion from Outworld, not just a tournament.
You're Johnny Cage. I loved Citizen Cage when I was a kid.
I'm an actor.
I find you annoying.
Alright, you big ugly fuck.
Only the strong survive.
It's showtime.
Karl Urban joining as Johnny Cage adds real star power and his particular brand of self-aware action. Credibility is a genuinely good fit for a character whose entire appeal is being too arrogant to fear things that should terrify him.
In Greenland.
Listen to me, son. It doesn't matter what happens.
Number 3, Greenland migration. Surviving the comet impact turned out to be only the beginning, and migration makes that clear immediately by dropping the Garrity family into a planet locked in a new ice age.
Arctic water. It's in southern France.
How are you?
The frozen Europe they cross to reach a rumored safe haven is lawless and desperate, full of other survivors, making increasingly difficult choices just to stay alive. Which means the greatest threats they face aren't environmental, they're human. The original Greenland worked because it refused to glamorize the apocalypse, and migration appears to carry that same commitment to an aftermath that is just as brutal as the event that caused it. Number 2, The Mandalorian and Grogu. The jump from streaming series to theatrical film carries real stakes, and The Mandalorian and Grogu is not treating that transition lightly. A new threat from the remnants of the Empire drives the central conflict, while Sigourney Weaver joining in a deliberately undisclosed role carries implications for how broadly this film connects to the wider history of Star Wars. The relationship between Din Djarin and Grogu has always been the emotional engine of this corner of the universe, and bringing it to the big screen for the first time gives both characters a scale and weight they've never had before.
All my life, I have answered every call to honor.
Number 1, Avengers. Doomsday. Robert Downey Jr. returning to the MCU as Dr. Doom rather than Tony Stark is one of the most genuinely surprising casting decisions the franchise has made in years, and what it signals about Doomsday's tone is significant.
So that I may fight once more, defeat one more enemy, and return home to her.
As the multiverse collapses, the Avengers reassemble to face a threat that promises to reshape everything that comes after. And Downey's familiarity to audiences is being used to make Doom feel like something the universe should have feared all along. The structural weight this film carries as the event that redefines the MCU's next chapter is enormous, and by every indication, Avengers Doomsday is prepared to meet it. From a Spielberg alien mystery to the end of the multiverse, 2026 is officially the year science fiction takes over the box office. Which of these are you most locked in for the conclusion of the Dune saga or Project Hail Mary? Drop your most anticipated pick in the comments, and subscribe so you don't miss our deep dives as the trailers keep rolling in.